Welcome to our video series on using prerequisite tree thinking tools for business. In this video, we'll complete our prerequisite tree. Okay, now let's finalize the prerequisite tree. And often what I do for this is, what you can do is keep the obstacles on the page as well. And you can either keep them like that, or as I previously showed you, you can have them right behind the intermediate objectives, which is a more space-efficient way to do this. But what I often do is, I find you don't need to keep the obstacles on the page. It's probably a good idea that you keep a backup copy of the prerequisite tree as it looks now. And actually, that's what I'll do. I'll keep the demo file as the backup, and then I'll do a save as a new version, or a new copy rather. So let's save it as demo-final, and it automatically adds .tlt as the extension. So save as thinkware files .tlt. Okay, so now we got a pointer. Let's delete, and actually what we can do to make it quicker, click, hold, and drag to do multiple selections, and the selection box selects what's within it, not what it touches. You have to have the entire item within the box for that to be selected. As you can see here, the selection box is touching the intermediate objectives, but they won't be selected, just the lines and the obstacles that are fully within the selection box. Then just press delete, or go edit delete, and they're gone. And let's do the same here. The selection box doesn't automatically scroll down the page. You can only select what's on the screen at that moment. Okay, delete. So now we start ordering these in the order in which they should be actions, in the order in which they should occur. And also it will become clearer if there's any overlap. But there isn't a huge amount of overlap. Let's just have a quick read-through. We have a consistent and significant stream of high-quality leads coming into the business and are converting a good percentage of those into delighted first-time customers. Through marketing tests, we are continuously optimizing and increasing how much revenue we make on average per customer transaction, as well as continuously optimizing and increasing the repeat business on average per customer. We have skilled and experienced staff that easily support and significantly contribute to the $5 million in sales without excessively increasing costs. Our product and service offers are broad enough to help bring in many new qualified customers as well as continuously grow. That should be growing. Double-click. As well as continuously growing average revenue per customer. And we have the in-company knowledge and expertise allowing us to consistently make at least $5 million a year in sales. There isn't a huge amount of overlap there, and I feel that each of those should be a standalone intermediate objective. You may disagree when you create your own. You may find there's a lot of overlap, so you would just delete some of these intermediate objectives and their related obstacles. Okay, so once that's all tidied up, then you put them in order. What should happen first? And what should happen last. And these tasks, these intermediate objectives, can occur concurrently. They can occur at the same time, or some of them can. So let's see if we can play around with the order of these. I would say this and this are definitely occurring at the same time. You definitely want to bring in leads and sales as quickly as possible, and you want to be continuously testing to optimize bringing in those leads and sales. And actually, this is concurrent as well. So really, you have 3 concurrent intermediate objectives in this example. But I would say this would probably be your first step. So first of all, with this example, you would get really just look at it. What you do with a prerequisite tree is just look at it, and it will logically fall into place, especially if you know the subject or can get knowledge of the subject. So first of all, we need the knowledge and expertise here, either by hiring a consultant who consults with the management or whatever it may be. And then this, I would say, connects to, and let's see if we can put these all at the same time. I would say connects to these three at the same time. First of all, we need the knowledge and expertise to know how we're going to reach our strategic objective. So we hire a consultant or whatever we wish to do. And then this connects to that, and it connects to, let's ignore that one for now. It connects to that, and it connects to that. Okay, let's get the pointer tool. Let's delete and tidy that up a little. Center it. Okay, then those three, once you have the knowledge and expertise, at the same time as you're getting leads and sales, we want to continuously be doing test marketing, and we want to be continuously growing the product and service lines. So those three really should be happening at the same time, and they feed off of each other really. So, okay, that's an ongoing task. Those three are really ongoing tasks, but they lead to, actually, I was going to say they lead to that, but really it makes more sense, and in my experience, this is quite unusual for a prerequisite tree to be. Usually I find them to be more sequential. The intermediate objectives logically line up more sequentially, but this time, these four really need to be happening at the same time. They do depend on each other and feed off of each other. Because you need the leads and sales happening at the same time as the testing, happening at the same time as increasing the product and the service line, which happens at the same time as bringing in new staff to support all this, because these are all ongoing tasks, and we need to keep bringing in the staff to support those tasks. I would say that's pretty accurate. So let's just finalize this. So let's just click that line with the arrow, connect it to there. Let's click that and move it a little to there. Then make a new arrow and connect it from the corner and connect it to there. That will do. Let's just move that a little. Back to the pointer. I'll move the arrow. And there we go. That will do. I could probably tidy up a little more, but that's fine for now. Then these all connect to the strategic objective, because once these are all happening, or once they're all done, then in theory we've reached our strategic objective. As I said, in my experience, that's quite unusual for a prerequisite tree. They're often more sequential than this. And actually, if I had fully fleshed out the obstacles, if I had put down every possible obstacle that was stopping this strategic objective from being a reality, we would probably have more obstacles. We would have more intermediate objectives, and this probably would have more of a sequential look to it. But for the examples I put down, apart from the starting intermediate objective, the other four intermediate objectives really should be happening at the same time. And they all naturally lead to the strategic objective. So that's pretty much the first draft done. Then you would review this regularly, make changes as need be, and improve it and add items to it if need be, and make changes to any of the intermediate objectives if need be, or to any of the ordering. And this is your high-level prerequisite tree. It's done basically, and this gives you the clarity to get from where you are to where you want to go. And really, there's nothing that says you need to have your strategic objective at the top. You can have it at the bottom of the page and have everything pointing downwards. It just depends purely on how you want to present this. In this example, what needs doing first is at the bottom, leading to the strategic objective at the top. And it's important to note that you don't have to have just one intermediate objective as the starting point. Again, if it makes sense, you can have more than one intermediate objective without any arrows pointing into it. So you can have more than one intermediate objective as the starting point, having concurrent starting points for the prerequisite tree. What's important to note is that each intermediate objective, can then be the strategic objective for a lower level prerequisite tree. So if you double-click, you can select this, then you can make a new worksheet as part of this project. Or you can choose diagrams, manage diagrams, and you can add more worksheets. So you can have multiple worksheets within a single project. And you can view them here in the Document Explorer part of the screen. So each of these intermediate objectives can be the strategic objective for a lower level prerequisite tree. Then you start mapping out all the obstacles that are stopping this from being a reality at the lower level, then finding the intermediate objectives for those obstacles. And you can keep going even lower and lower if you wish, or you can stop at a certain point. And really, at a certain point, if you don't feel you need to map out a prerequisite tree, you can just work the way you normally work. But really, if you need clarity on any of these, then you make a prerequisite tree for those. So it gets lower and lower down in the process and more detailed as you get lower and lower down. You get more and more clarity on each of these specific tasks as well. Overall, it will be presented in quite a unique way, but you'll end up with almost a step-by-step business plan of exactly what you'll need to do, what you need to achieve, the tasks you need to do, and the steps you need to take to get where you want to get to. I find this process can take a little bit of getting used to, but once you're familiar with it and start getting experience with it, it is a quite unique way of thinking and planning. But it really does help you make decisions and seeing what's really important and what needs to be done, and you may find it very beneficial in helping you with personal decisions, but also, specifically in these examples, with business decisions. Even with lower-level business decisions if you wish, but really some of the strongest benefits of this is getting clarity on big business decisions, where you want to go with your business and finding out exactly how you're going to get there step by step. What you need for each step, which tasks are done sequentially and which are done concurrently, and of course, if you're in a business with other management, then these prerequisite trees can also help you share your vision of the business and help them be clear on the tasks they need and the priorities for their respective departments. And this is just one out of the 6 thinking tools. There are other tools related to this, but to date, I've really just used the prerequisite tree and find it hugely beneficial for creating clarity with business goals and clarity of what needs doing within the business. Once you become familiar with it and get experience with it, you may also find it an invaluable tool for helping you make decisions and gaining clarity on how to reach your business goals.